All right, so the Lakers really, other than drafting Dalton Knecht and Bronny, they really are running back the same team from a year ago. I know it could be Vanderbilt could be more healthy, Gabe Vince could be more healthy, and maybe Dalton Knecht brings something to the table that we're all hoping that he does, knocks down some shots, et cetera, et cetera. But they really have not been particularly active in the trade market. One of the theories is that since they made the Russell Westbrook trade, they've been gun shy because they don't want to make a similar mistake. That the Russell Westbrook trade was something they took a big swing, a lot of capital going out to bring in a future Hall of Fame player. We all know it didn't work. They send him out. They get some pieces coming back the other way. But since then, they've been relatively quiet in doing what they do. Do you think that could be it? Do you think that, hey, look, we tried to go big with Russell Westbrook. It was an unqualified mistake. It just didn't work. Let's not do that again. Let's be a little tighter when we're making a trade proposal moving forward.
Here's why I think I don't completely buy into that. And I don't completely buy into it because I think they made good moves to get out of the Russ trade. Yes, the Russ trade was awful, but they also
kind of had to. They had to get Russell Westbrook out of the building.
They had to, but think about how everyone knew they had to. Mm-hmm. Think about how everyone understood that they could potentially take advantage of the Lakers. And I thought Pelinka did as best as he can.
I agree.
After the Russell Westbrook trade. And in that first year, if, oh my gosh, what the hell did we just do? We got Russell Westbrook. This thing is clearly not going to work. You know what? We have to fire our coach and hope Darvin Ham can help kind of fix this up. Nothing worked. But that same year, Darvin Ham in his first year, at the trade deadline, they did acquire Vando and D'Angelo Russell and Rui Hachimura and Malik Beasley, I think it was at the time, and they got to the Western Conference Finals. I think how low you might have felt at one point to think, we just traded this guy away. We got assets. We were able to retain those assets. And then we got to the Western Conference Finals. Yes, maybe they're a little bit more gun-shy.
But they really haven't done anything since then.
They haven't done anything since then, but I think part of the compliment of not doing anything since then was also, yeah, but why are you just going to fire off picks and aren't you being... You don't want to be too aggressive.
Well, you know the answer to that, right? The answer to that is, we got to maximize LeBron. You only get LeBron for so much time. You can't wait around for this. The idea has always been LeBron, get him what he needs, get him what he needs. And the last time they did that, like with that being the goal, and clearly LeBron was involved in the Russell Westbrook decision on some level, it blew up. Didn't work. So we got to get out of this. I have to fix this. But once I'm done with this, I'm gonna pull back. I'm gonna be a little bit more circumspect in what I do moving forward because I do not want to have another disaster blow up in my face and at the cost that it might take to go get one of the players that we've been talking about seemingly for a couple of years now.
Yeah, I think, again, the way I look at it more than anything else, I don't know if they're gun shy. I feel like they have not found a move that they think this makes sense to give up our final
that's what it is.
Our final two first rounders that we have in 2029 and 2031. Trav, I believe this. If they find a move that they think makes sense, they will get rid of those picks. I don't think those picks are, we got to hold on to this because LeBron, when he's gone, we have to have some draft capital. I just don't think that's how the Lakers operate. I don't think they're looking 5-6 years down the road.
You might be right.
I think it has more to do with if they find a deal that makes sense, they will make that deal. Now, I could also say, well, you didn't have to go make a huge move. Like the Dallas Mavericks, when they made a move last trade deadline, they didn't make a blockbuster move, but those moves were good enough. Yeah. Get them to the NBA Finals. I think if there's a criticism to the Lakers, it has more to do with it doesn't have to be blockbuster or nothing. Can you find something in between? And that's why I think the coming back next season with the exact same team, you didn't make any changes. I think that actually sounds a lot more like the year that they had Russell Westbrook where they didn't trade him. But I don't know. I hesitate on the gun shy. I think it's more just they haven't found a move that they felt made sense.
So the something in between, I think, is where it gets incredibly complicated because I'm just making something up. If somebody like, I'm trying to think, I don't want to go Giannis or Luka or something like that because that's just not realistic. somebody that is a universally accepted as an all-star caliber player becomes available, and you got to go pay a couple of first-round draft picks. Like, let's use Dejounte Murray when that was floating around. If they thought that was the guy that could take them from kind of middle of the pack to where they are, towards the back half of the middle to the top half of the middle, okay, cool. But the middle of the pack, the something like you said, something in between. Okay, what is that and what's the cost? And this is where I think it gets really complicated. Do you want me to spend a couple of first-round draft picks, or one of them, to go from 7th to 6th? No. What's the difference? I'm still out in the first round. I'm still really not making much of a difference. If you think you can go from 7th to 4th, okay, let's talk about that if there's one of those in-between moves. And I think where Pelinka is stuck is there that move, whether it's a middle move, something in the middle, or a big move that's genuinely going to make us significantly better? Not a little. There are always moves you can make to be a little better, but at what price? Am I buying a short-term car for new car prices, or am I getting a new car that can actually do something? Because LeBron's run here is we're way closer to the end than we are at the beginning, right? At some point, you have to think about what happens after that. I know the Lakers have a different set of rules, circumstances.
They don't have to do it like everybody else.
They don't have to do it like everybody else. I get that, and I respect that. But at the same time, you do need things to play with. You need chips to trade for other people's players and everything else. And you look around. You look at what they've been for the last 6 out of the last 7 years. They've been a 7th place team. You look around at where they're probably going to land this year. It's probably very likely in that same range between 6 and 10. That's just kind of where they are. Do I spend money just to stay where I think that's the question that they keep asking themselves is, do I do it just so people will stop saying you haven't done anything? Okay. Or do I just say, look, there's no good deal to be made here?
Can I tell you something that's kind of funny? One of their problems that they have is they don't have enough assets.
Right.
That's one of their problems. One of their issues, I'll throw out a name, Lauri Markkanen with the Utah Jazz. He's kind of a name that's been thrown around, and he's a really good player.
Yeah.
If it sounds like the Golden State Warriors are going to make a big run at him. The Miami Heat are trying to make a run at him. The Lakers supposedly had interest in Lauri Markkanen. They look at the Lakers and say, you're going to give us your 2029, your 2031? Did you see what Mikal Bridges just went for? They don't have enough assets.
Right.
So I think part of it, too, is, yes, you're saving assets. You're saying, I can't get rid of these picks because I got to make sure if I get these picks, this is going to hit. Well, the other light of it is if you want a real quality player, those assets aren't good enough for that player.
They're not good enough. And that's why the future, I don't want to say it looks bleak because they're not bad, but they're just kind of stuck in that middle ground where they're going to be in it because LeBron and Anthony Davis are that good. We're going to be in it, but are you in it? No. Are you a lottery team? Absolutely not. You're just not bad enough for lack of a better phrase. But I don't have the assets to go make a deal. How do you catch the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Dallas Mavericks and the Nuggets and some of these other, and like we've talked about a million times, Memphis is going to be better. San Antonio is going to be a real player in the West before too long. And your best guys are getting younger and are older, and their best guys are entering their primes. That is a very weird spot to be in right now.